Hello, welcome to Jadekind Gaming. My name is Adam, and today I will be doing another unboxing of an Icons of the Realm set. This time, Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. So that was a book that included a bunch of various mini settings. And so we get minis for those mini settings, and a lot of those are kind of horror-ish themed in one way or another. So you get some cool stuff here. Honestly, some of the smaller figures are ones that I'm more excited from, like the NPC kind of figures, more than anything. And the way that this, if I pick it up in the center, distributes, and pick it up here, I believe, as I pour into this, that this box has a heavier mini than any of the others. Which, if you take a look at the box here, they kind of give some previews of what may be in it on the sides. And I think this zombie clot looks like it's going to be big. So maybe we have that? Maybe something else. I don't know. Some of the cool minis in here. That's the premium figure that's not in the set. You have to buy that one separately, but not quite get that. Is it? Oh no, it's another big one though. This is cool too. Now, we have here the Body Taker plant. It has this zombie plant creature crawling out of it, and this translucent ooze, all these tendrils. So I do not think that I have the zombie claw if this is what seemed like the heaviest mini in the set. But I'm also not too upset with that because this is another cool one. And given that I have some wildlands, wilderness, Dwarven Forge terrain, a nice, cool plant mini to throw into that kind of environment seems pretty cool. Of course, the box has a few figures here. We have a Were-Raven. Let me find the sweet spot in the... So yeah, we got a Were-Raven. That's kind of imposing. We have Mother Lorida. Some sort of friendly looking hag, I'm sure. And this box finishes off with, oh, cool, the Nosferatu. So that is one of the just generally useful, alternate kind of vampires. So if you don't like your vampires to be high society, we have Nosferatu vampires. Low society. Continuing on to box 2 to see what else we get here. Okay. The lodges feel so small in these boxes built to house huge minis. We have the Amber Monolith. Can't quite tell what it is, and it's probably nothing. Can you see it all in the video? There is something that is not translucent in the middle of this translucent piece. It even could just be hollow, and you're seeing the the core where they didn't bother to make it all the way through. But it definitely looks like there's depth in there. Cannot quite tell on the camera, only when I'm looking at it in person. Anyways, it kind of has a cool effect. And then, of course, there's the black tendrils reaching forth from the thing. So, kind of an abstract horror, but horror all the same. This one looks kind of colorful. What we got here? Oh, lovely. A wax replica. So, this guy is melting. That's no good. You don't want to be melting. Poor guy. Kind of gross. Which, of course, you know, being horror sets, some of them are kind of gross. We have Isolde. I want to say that she's the one that has the carnival in Ravenloft, that traded it with Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, and like that she is trapped because like the creature that is being like tortured through this, you know, domain of dread is the intelligent sword that she wields. I think so. Just trying to get her in focus there. Yeah, so elf. And then here we have, a bendy guy. A death knight who needs to be bent back. But he moves back easy enough, so with some hot water, I'm sure he'll keep the proper position. But yeah, kind of undead, armored Death Knight. Box 3. Okay. Looks like 4 bags came out, but I think one of them is the remainder of this guy's parts. This is a headless monster that, to me, feels like it probably should be on a medium base, but based on the size that the actual mini is, but whatever. It is not. That's that. So this here, the bag that is taped shut because it has such small components in it. That one almost lost forever. Are some heads. So you can take this creature, which in and of itself is like stitched together of others, and slot in one head. I'm totally gonna lose these. Or another. And they fit very awkwardly. Yeah, it doesn't really want to push down much more than that. But yeah. You just put one of the 2 heads on there. Weird. Moving on, we have Vampiric Tatiana, which I think is like an alternate Strahd storyline. But yeah, gotta have some vampires in your Ravenloft. We have the Zheng Shi, which I think is basically an equivalent of vampire from another culture. So, lots of vampires. Bit of a weird face paint there. And this looks monstrous. Yep, Loup-garou, which is like their more powerful werewolf version that this book added. So, werewolf's not powerful enough? Try Loup-garou. Box 4. Okay. Well, has a manifestation of Leorce, who's over here, not attached, and would have to be glued back in, I suppose, to these pegs on the base. But I can get some super glue and I can glue him back on. He didn't come broken, he's just the attachment point, so that's an easy fix. Oh, I was like almost thinking, is this bag empty? But no. There is Carrion Stalker. It's a small one here. Feels like one I would want to have a whole bunch of. Oh well. This one also seems empty, but no, it's just ghostly. Ghost of Erasmus, which is actually one of the other things that I wanted in the set. Is there are a number of ghost figures, and that is cool to have. They're not just like transparent. They're like they have like wispy bits, and yeah, so a little bit smoky colored on this one. You get basically no detail because it's translucent and trying to see it through the camera. And our final one here is the Sterogi, which is like a medium-sized creature based on the sturge. You can tell by the proboscis. Giant mosquito monster. Box 5 puts us past the halfway point, and this one got a little heft to it. Okay. Yes, it does. This, I think, is one of our rares. Also is hollow, which is why, as big as it is, only a little heft. The Star Spawn Emissary Greater. So I like the feel of a Gibbering Mouther, but Gibbering Mouther too small for you? Try Greater Star Spawn Emissary with these maws and tendrils and tendons. And it's a little glossy, so it kind of looks a little wet. There's all these suckers, and there's an eye right there. Some snouts. There's an ear sticking out here. And compared to, say, normal creature size, it's a big old mass of ugh. And that is cool. Oh, hey, that's cool. So we got another Carrion Stalker, which is one of the commons, but it is literally the common that when I looked at it, I was like, I wish I had a bunch of these, and now I have a second one. So cool. Oh boy. Okay, so this is cool because this adds something to my collection I have not had. This is Elenic Ray. Yep, Elenic Ray. And it is a wheelchair mini. So, which is just something I don't have in my collection. So, cool add-on. Also, he has a firearm, which I don't have a whole lot of those either. Yeah. And then we get last one? Oh boy, ugh. The Boneless, which is like a undead kind of zombie creature, except it's just the flesh. Which, of course, leads to the brilliant idea of having players think that they're being chased after by zombies, only to have the flesh come off the zombie and attack them as a boneless, and the skeletal form to attack them as a skeleton, doubling the number of creatures that they're fighting right when they get upon them. You know, just an idea. In box 6, another particularly light one. Oh, because sometimes in these huge boxes, instead of getting 3 medium or smalls and either a large or huge, you just get 5 medium or smalls. So that is what this box is. I started doing that a bit ago. I finally seen it actually said somewhere officially. Got another Were-Raven. So we already had one of those, but they like particularly with their pose and the way that they feel like an imposing pair of like specialized guards to flank a door, like to flank some sort of gate and tell you no entry. Here's one that is kind of on my wish list, although really the main one I want is the one associated with this. The, I don't know, cousin or whatever it was. But this is Ivan Delicia, which is this childish guy that is aged and decrepit and cannot support himself, that he's in this weird machine. But like can't die or whatever. I don't remember the story. It's been a while since I went through that book. Oh, I think this is actually her though. Which is the greatest. Yeah. This is one of the. So, Ivana Borizzi. Yeah, she was one of the main ones I was hoping for. Just that regal. Appearance, the opposing like mockery of beauty to this guy. But yeah, just can be used for whatever cruel and terrible kind of creature she is, or honestly as just general fancy noble, which I'm working on getting a bunch of those, because at some point I want to have a fancy noble party and have all hell break loose with a big old combat, and I'll need a bunch of minis. You know, gotta have goals. Alright, cool. Another boneless, which of course, if you're gonna have skeletons disguised as zombies attacking the players, you want to have more than one, so I'll take another boneless. And in here, we have... Okay. This is... Elise Mordenheim's Beloved. She's supposed to have some sort of weird, like, device in her chest that is, like, keeping her alive, whatever. But it just looks like a smudge of yellow. I think it might be, like, under her skin, so it's, like, hard to show, but it just looks like a smudge of yellow paint was put on there, which I guess gets the point across as needed for the story, but because of the way it looks kind of bad for anything else. Oh, well. Our penultimate box. Oh, there. Door. Also kind of light. Has... Okay. A relentless killer. Kind of just works as a little giant kind of thing. We have a crocodile-headed mummy, which, I mean, will I manage to make use of? Probably. Will my players snicker when I do? Probably. Because that is silly. Oh, we have Dr. Victra Mordenheim, which is the companion mini to this one. So she's kind of all suited up for doctors. It looks like her eyes didn't quite get put where they go. But, she's got whatever, her apron with tools and all that. And a bagman who has no actual face, it's just hair, and is literally crawling out of a little bag. Okay, and our final box is heavy. Like, it seemed like that second to last one was really heavy, but I guess this one being just before it was kind of offsetting that. This one could be the zombie clout whatever thing. Because it's heavy. And it's big. I'm feeling it right here. Yeah, that's it. Oh, he's got a seatbelt. Hold on. So, zombie quad. Let's grab mini for scale. So the heads in here, I guess, are a little bit bigger than the scale of normal mini. But they had to make so many of them because it is just the idea of so many zombies have been pressed together so long that they have formed another, like a single creature that is like a giant blob of zombies. Like, this is... Like, I can think of some fun ways to use this in lieu of a horde of zombies. Just masses. It's gross. It's so gross. And you got like the spare little, like this one is on the outside and he's reaching out with his arms. Same here. So like on the arms we got some hands reaching forward. Ugh. Disgusting. Okay, cool. We have a Gurmiska, feral animal creature kind of thing. Okay. We have, this is cool, a Richten. Yeah, you can kind of see right there. Like, there is like something inside. Like, you can faintly see like maybe a texture of a rib cage in there. Yeah, you can kind of see it's in there. Like a rib cage there. But basically, it is this tube, this canister that has some creature in it, in this deep red liquid, which I could just use as a piece of set dressing in the corner of something kept. It doesn't have to be whatever monster it is in there, but it still, either way, has a creepy vibe to it, because it looks like, you can just kind of get a hint of some creature that's in there. So, that is gross. And finally, we have Maharani Ramika. Just sort of warrior lady. She has her own horror story in there, but really she's more great for just PC or soldier NPC kind of figure. Quite imposing. Fancy armor. Cool. So yeah, Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft is a bit of a gnarly. It's a horror setting. And I got the number one figure I was hoping of. There were a few lesser ones just below it that I didn't get. Some of the other just NPC like individuals. But I got some really cool large ones. One that I knew would be massive and kind of impressive and is disgusting, but I'm like, I could find a use. One that as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, I know how I can use that, but I hadn't thought of from the online. Although I didn't realize it was a huge from the images I'd previewed. I felt like it was large. So when it was much bigger, I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then the Star Spawn Emissary, which is one I think I've used Theater of Mind in a game already. I had it much bigger. But it looks, because of how glossy it is, it looks so much grosser in person than I knew. Other cool ones, getting a cool bone, a couple of boneless is neat, just for possible uses. I wasn't super excited of the were-ravens, but getting two of them, and like with that sort of kind of pose that they have, that instantly made me think, oh, I could find a use for a pair of them that I couldn't think of with just one of them. So that's cool. And again, a number of different NPCs of just kind of weird, off-putting kind of appearances, because a lot of them are horror, and that's not normally what you see. So, cool stuff. I will link down below. You can go pick up some Icons of the Realms Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft minis online. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. Helps me out, and thank you for watching.